Hi, my name is Dr. Karen Kan. I'm the founder of the Academy of Light Medicine and the Topocan Healing Method. In this series called Healing Myths, Mistakes, and Misconceptions, I'm going through a number of topics that may be helpful for you in your healing journey. So today's topic is, are you seeing the big picture? So as a conventionally trained medical doctor, I graduated from University of Ottawa in Canada and then did a stint as assistant professor at Santa Monica UCLA Family Medicine Residency, and I loved it there. What I realized over the years is that we're very good in Western medicine at looking at the small picture, the microscopic, if you will, of information. So what that means is that, in medicine, we have multiple different specialties. In Canada, the primary care physician was very important. That person is like the coordinator of all the different specialists. And in fact, you can't even see a specialist. Maybe it's changed now, but back then you could not even see a specialist without a referral from your primary care physician. Why? Because the primary care physician needed to understand what all the other specialists were saying so they could coordinate that care for you. Now, when I worked at UCLA in Los Angeles, the attitude was very different. The primary care physician was almost seen as a lowly profession. You didn't get paid as much as the specialists, not even close. And for example, there was the wife of a researcher that I'd met, and she was having her first baby. She was very healthy, probably in her early 30s, something like that, late 20s, early 30s. And so I asked her, "Oh, who's delivering your baby?" Because I was thinking, well, my residents and my colleagues are really, really good at delivering babies, and people have a wonderful experience. She says, "Well, I'm seeing a specialist." I'm like, "Okay." I said, "Great." And she goes, "And I'm having the baby on such and such a day." And I was like, wait a second. Is that your due date? And she says, "Well, not exactly, but that's the day we decided that we're going to have the baby." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And she says, "Well, we're having a C-section." And I'm like, "Why are you having a C-section?" And she says, "Well, the baby hasn't dropped." And I'm like, "You're only 28 weeks. It's not really supposed to drop yet." Oh, well, we don't want to wait. And she was just like so matter of fact that she's going to a specialist. They're going to do a planned C-section. And I didn't even want to get into the data. And this person is a scientist, okay? I didn't want to get into the data, about, health and vaginal deliveries and all this kind of stuff. So she was willing to go through surgery so she could know exactly when she was having the baby. And the surgeon, the obstetrician, knew exactly when they're going to be free for golf. Okay? Okay, that was judgmental. Anyway, cancel. So it was a very different attitude there. And I was really kind of shocked that why someone would choose a perfectly healthy person who did not qualify for having a C-section would have a planned C-section literally just for convenience. And because her obstetrician, like I said, they do have scheduled golf games, it's not really convenient to get up at 2 or 3 in the morning when the baby's ready. You know what I mean? I should know. I've done a bunch of these deliveries, okay? It's like, why can't you deliver at like 4 in the afternoon? It's like, no, it has to be 4 in the morning or 1 in the morning or, with nobody's had sleep. Anyway, so Western medicine is really, really good at picking apart things really, 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 really microscopically. But there's a problem with that. When we don't see the whole person, we can get into trouble because healing is not about getting rid of a symptom. Let me repeat that. Healing is not about getting rid of a symptom. Symptom control can be done through all sorts of medicine, right? You have a pain, take a painkiller. But if you want to heal the underlying reason for the pain, then taking a painkiller and that's it is probably not going to do it because you have not investigated the root cause or causes of that pain. Is it a physical issue? In other words, is it something you're eating that could be contributing to the pain? Is it a mental issue? Do you have negative mental blocks or subconscious mind patterns that cause or contribute to the pain? The belief that this pain is not healable. Do you have emotional blocks? Trapped emotions, emotional resonances, psychic traumas, things in your energy field that cause a distortion that therefore cause the pain? Is it energetic? Is it energetic as in like, hey, I can feel other people's energy and their pain because I'm an empath and I don't know that I'm an empath, so I think it's mine? Or is there an energetic distortion in some of the energetic patterns in your body, which therefore lead your physical body to cause pain? Is it a spiritual issue? Do you have a spiritual weapon lodged in your neck from this or another lifetime that's causing or contributing to your pain? Or is it a dimensional issue? Do you have a dimensional implant that you didn't know you had, which may not be for your highest and greatest good to have, that should be removed? Or multiple implants or nanites or whatever it is, right? There are so many different possibilities, but if you just take that painkiller and kill the symptom, you may never actually heal all those other things because the symptom's gone. So symptoms are really helpful. And of course, I don't like symptoms any more than you do. But symptoms, instead of just wanting it to be gone, use it as an investigative tool to understand more, to investigate, be curious about, that's interesting. What's this about? Is it mine? Those of us that are highly sensitive people, that's like 95% of my tribe, right? Is it mine? Or am I just empathizing with something or someone? Am I empathizing with mass consciousness and that's why I'm anxious? Am I empathizing with Mother Earth and that's why my knee hurts? That has happened. So seeing the big picture really is a way to look at the root problem, but also the patterns that happen. And that's why people argue these days about, following the science and things like that. We have another video on that. Because oftentimes they're looking at a problem in a microscopic way. They're just looking at this tiny little sliver of reality. And if you look at the big picture, it can be very different. So some of us are big picture thinkers, and I happen to be one of them. So it is easier for me than maybe some other learning types to see the bigger picture. It's just a natural thing. I like and understand seeing patterns and repetitions and things that occur over and over again. So for me, it's easy to see, okay, well, let's see. This is the science we're presented, and this is what's going on over here, and this is the science presented over here, and at the same time, quantum physics shows us this over here, and epigenetics show, oh wow, our thoughts and emotions really have a huge impact on our biology. Oh, isn't that interesting, right? And how does our environment change our genetic code, if you will, and the exposure of what genes get transcribed and which ones don't? Oh wow, look over here, there's some data that shows that even, fruit flies that have had the gene removed for their eyes, within 5 generations, their children actually grow eyes again, even though there's no gene for eyes left, right? Well, isn't that interesting, right? Is it possible for humans? Possibly. What if there's just morphic fields? You don't need the actual gene. Oh wow, there's the work of Rupert Sheldrake about morphogenetic fields. It's really interesting. And the data from HeartMath about our 3, intuitive parts of ourselves, our brain, our heart, and our gut. We have lots of nervous system cells in our heart and in our gut. We are literally feeling out our reality. It's not just about the brain. What if you integrated all 3 in your decision making? How would that affect your life? So it's not just about a virus or what you see under the microscope or this gene sequence or this test, a PCR test, or any of those things. When you see the big picture, you continue asking questions and you go out further. And then you see patterns. And you can even see, sometimes people say follow the science, but some other people say follow the money. And that's been really interesting for the big picture people, right? To see who funds who and who got money from who, and which non-governmental organization that doesn't have to pay tax. Wow, that's billions of dollars. That's really interesting. So, wow, they funded this person. Well, I thought I thought those groups were government. Okay, so the government is getting money from these industries. So, so the big picture people would be like, whoa, okay, that sounds a little fishy here, right? And they would investigate deeper and more, right, and go down that rabbit hole. But the microscopic thinkers, the detail-oriented ones, may see a lot of information right in front of them, but not see the bigger picture. So holistic healing is really about seeing the bigger picture. People may be afraid of, what they're calling a virus, microscopic thinking, right? And they're like, well, these are the things we're going to mandate because it makes sense, right? Let's like not talk to each other, not see each other. Let's, social distance, let's lock down, all this kind of stuff. Makes sense in the microscopic world of if you, believe in germs causing disease. But what if you went further out and you go, wait, okay, so that's possible, germs cause disease. But on the other hand, like, why do some people stay healthy regardless of that exposure, and why do people get sick? Then you go deeper and going, that's interesting. So what is it about the healthy people that's different? Do they have better habits? Are they less stressed? And then you might go, well, gee, there's these other things like, vitamin D levels are correlated and that kind of thing. And it's like, oh, okay, well, that's interesting, right? Right. And so you can go bigger and bigger and seeing the bigger picture and realizing, wow, with some of these things that we've mandated, there's actually been more harm than good. If you count overall morbidity and mortality, whether that be suicides, job loss, mental health, all that kind of stuff, right? So the bigger picture includes all of that, not just a little virus. That's just an example, of seeing the big picture. So it's for big picture thinkers, it's very like obvious, but for those that aren't, it takes a little bit more effort. So I would say is, for your healing, look at the big picture for yourself personally, mentally, emotionally, energetically, spiritually. It's not just about what you're eating. A large part could be. Depends on your life path and what you're supposed to discover and, so on and so forth in your journey, right? Maybe it's not just that, or it's not just energetic. Like some people are like, oh, I do so much energy healing, but then, I look at their lifestyle and they're sitting slouched like this and, they're not really moving their bodies. They're in front of a computer all day and you can do all the energy healing you want. But if you are not using and honoring your body and your posture and hydration and, having high vibrational foods and everything like that, you're really missing a big piece of 360 degrees of healing. So seeing the big picture can be really, really empowering to help you heal faster, to help you along that divine path. So you can actually fulfill your soul mission and have fun doing it. How cool would that be, right? So if this is helpful for you, please post in the comments, hey, how are you seeing the big picture in your own healing journey? Would love to know. Let's share a little bit about that. And I have a 3-hour interactive workshop. We're going to be doing mini healings. We're going to go into the microscopic and then also the macroscopic as well. Kind of depends on who's there. It is a live 3-hour interactive workshop, so you'll be receiving healing if you so desire, of course. And we'll also be doing mini healing demonstrations during this on my healing method and see if it resonates with you. If you're interested and would love to learn more, I'll put the link near this video to join me for that 3-hour interactive workshop. And I really hope that you're enjoying this series, the Healing Myths, Mistakes, and Misconceptions. And until we meet next time, lots of love. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye for now.